Primal Origin was released on May 16th, 2014. This set marks the beginning of hat format by introducing the artifacts Traptrix Dionea, Madolche Angeli, and support for the highly anticipated Sylvan archetype. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! For the last 8 years, I've brought you all endless amounts of entertaining Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, but it's rare that I discuss what goes on behind the scenes. Sometimes I'll film 2, 3, even 4 episodes in a day, and you probably wonder how that's even physically possible. Cometeer is a completely new format of coffee that's flash frozen to lock in freshness and delivered directly to your door every month. You can customize your order to your roast preference, keep the capsules in your freezer, and simply melt them into your beverage of your choice, whether it's hot or cold. I personally prefer the Nano Genji light roast, starting with ice, oat milk because I don't consume dairy, and 1 capsule of the Nano Genji. It's incredibly convenient being able to whip up a drink in between filmings, and it smells and tastes amazing. The Nano Genji blend exudes tea-like notes of creamy papaya and ginger and goes down with a smooth finish. For a limited time, you can get $40 off your first 2 orders if you use my code CIMO40 at cometeer.com/CIMO.
Well, folks, we've made it. Welcome to the last format before Master Rule 3 and the introduction of pendulums, Hat. Now, Hat actually refers to a series of formats. The first iteration, Hat, is a bunch of loosely constructed decks that mostly represent the top meta from the previous format and a couple of newcomers. As decks coalesce around more powerful options around the Nationals season in 2014, we get to a mid-tier of Hat that includes some very powerful strategies like Sylvans that we'll be looking at later. And finally, after the release of Structured Deck Realm of Light, Lightsworns are added into the mix in a big way, culminating into High Hat. These 3 sequential formats are what we're going to be looking at over the course of the next couple of episodes, but you will be seeing a lot of this in those. So what is Hat? Hat is not only a format, but also a deck. It refers to Hand Artifact Traptrix, a melange of 3 different archetypes that play extremely well together. By including Traptrix Mermello and Dionea as a small engine to search Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare and also a bottomless trap hole, you're able to lock your opponent out of many powerful plays. By summoning Fire Hands and Ice Hands, you're able to lock your opponent out of committing to back row or monster effects lest they fall prey to these monsters' powerful summoning conditions. And the artifacts meant that cracking back row wasn't even guaranteed to be good. Moraltech and Scythe and Begaltech all waiting in the wings. The list I'm playing is very strange. Certainly lists at this time were not commonly playing a copy of Artifact Scythe main deck, but this one is, and that's because it's the first place list from a tournament you may never have heard of, the YGO Open Series. This deck took first place at Atlanta, and there were many other tournaments in this series, which was hosted by TCG Player, if you can believe it. These culminated in a $10,000 playoff bid. This refrain, a third-party organization attempting to tournament organize on its own, would become exceptionally common in the coming years, as individuals wanted to enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! But felt that Konami tournaments were too few and far between to satiate their lust for play. Most notably, ARG had a wildly successful tournament series, but we'll be exploring that a little more in depth as we approach Duelist Alliance. For now, let's play one of the greatest control formats ever conceived. So first, let's go through the individual cards. Begaltech is an unfortunate inclusion. This card destroys 2 set cards you control when it is special summoned, which means you're able to pop copies of Moraltech or Scythe that maybe you drew in your opening hand, rather than were able to summon off of Sanctum. Moraltech is the thing that makes the deck tick. It can be summoned from your deck via Artifact Sanctum and is punishing if your opponent cracks a back row, summons itself to your side of the field, and pops a face-up card your opponent controls. Scythe is Scythe. We know him, we love him, and honestly, we loathe him. After that, we've got 3 copies of Firehand and 3 copies of Icehand. Now, this was common the first time people took a crack at Hat, but they shaved these copies later. You don't want to draw multiples of Firehand and Icehand. You really just want to draw one and get through the entire line. Though that's very unlikely, it can happen. Firehand, when destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, allows you to target a monster they control, destroy it, then summon an Icehand from deck, and Icehand does the same with spell traps. Now, these are strange for a couple of reasons. Firstly, that's a when you can effect, so if they're destroyed in the middle of a chain, they will miss timing. something. And secondly, because that conjunction in the back half of the card is a conditional then, they have to destroy a monster to summon an ice hand. This gets kind of tricky if you're trying to destroy something that can't be destroyed, or you're trying to activate an ice hand effect while your opponent doesn't have any back row. Finally, we've got 2 copies of Traptrix Dianea, the second most playable Traptrix that allows you to go into a powerful rank 4, and 3 Traptrix Mirror Mellow. After that, we've got 3 Artifact Ignition. It's kind of MST with upside. Double Cyclone, very good when you want to be popping your own back row as well. Pot of Dichotomy, people were coping about this card so hard. I swear to you, they just heard Pot and turned their blinders on. This card is terrible, and I will be boarding it out constantly. 3 Duality, 3 Upstart Goblin, 3 Sanctum, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 2 Breakthrough Skill, 2 Call of the Haunted, 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Torrential, and 2 Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. Now, I should warn you, this list is missing a very critical card. It's not playing Wiretap. Now, in Control Mirrors, Wiretap is king. It is a counter trap that negates a trap card and returns it to the deck. It became standard to see not only in sides, but also in mains. This one is not playing it. So wish us luck against Alex's control strategy. In the side, we've got 2 DD Crow, 2 Maxi, 2 Skullmeister, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Debunk, 2 Deep Dark Trap Hole, 2 Needle Ceiling, and a Transmigration Prophecy. In the extra, we've got 2 Abyss Dweller, 1 Artifact Durandal, 1 Cairn Gorgon, 1 Constellar Pleiades, 1 Constellar Tomi M7, a link on top of it, a Diagusto Emerald, a Gagaga Cowboy, Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger, 101, Ragnar Zero, Volcasaurus, Rhapsody and Berserk, Crazy Box, and Tyrios, Keeper of Genesis. So, I'll let Alex talk about his favorite deck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hat format. Officially, that is, because we've sort of been like hovering around the beginning of Hat format, and this is where it truly actually starts to manifest. Now, I'm super excited. I love Hat. I think the deck is fantastic, which is why I let Joseph play it, so this time I could play Geargia. We wanted to show this matchup off because this was actually one of the better matchups that was in favor of a non-Hat deck, just because of the way that some of the stat lines worked, and because it's another deck that plays a ton of back row. You're gonna see this grindy control mess of a game, I imagine, unless one of us just blows out the other person, but it's gonna be a mess. But I'm excited. I love control. I know Joseph does too, so these are going to be tense games. So let's do the card by card. So starting with Geargia Armor, this is obviously the namesake of the deck, but the reason why this has such a favorable matchup against Hat is because the biggest thing to normal summoning is like 1600, and Armor being 1900 means that unless they have Moral Tax specifically out on the field or any Xyz, that Armor can't get cleared, and it's always going to be this constant threat that keeps coming up, generating us advantage. And that's one of the reasons why when people analyzed during this time that Hat was going to be a prominent deck, people pivoted to Geargia as a way to sort of combat that. And I believe at YCS Philadelphia, it had a larger representation of the top cut than Hat did, but just barely. So we're on 3 Armor, the 3 Accelerator, and the 3 Arsenal. We just want to max out on all the good ones. And then we're playing the 3 MK2 and the 1 Geargiano just to pair with our 3 copies of Geargia Gear. This card just gets you off to the races if you aren't already with your copy of Armor, and allows you to just get a rank 4 in motion, most likely Gear Gig and X that can search your armor, and then by that point, you should be stable. The deck is rounded off with 3 copies of Max C and an incredibly low monster count, but for what it's worth, it's perfectly fine because again, the 3 Gear Gears are essentially monsters, and triple Upstart lowers the deck count to 37, so I guess Max C is sort of like Upstar Goblin in a way as well. It's pretty likely you should see a monster, and if not, you're just going to draw a bunch of back row to be able to protect yourself until you do. The spells include Book of Moon, triple MST, a Soul Charge, and the aforementioned Upstart Goblins. Book is just generically good. MST is good, just a 1-for-1 certain back row. It's also nice because you may think in a format with artifacts, MST isn't that good, but against cards such as Fiendish Chain or cards such as Call of the Haunted, it is still quite strong just because you have the ability to snipe those cards, prevent stuff like Myrmelio and Moral Tack from coming back, or to be able to make sure your effects go through in the instance of Fiendish Chain. Soul Charge being at 1 in here, I think maybe you could up this maybe to 2 potentially, but again, lower monster count doesn't necessarily facilitate that. In all fairness though, Soul Charge is broken, and if you resolve this, you should be in a fine position. And then we get to the trap lineup, 16 of these motherfuckers. So we have triple Black Horn of Heaven, the all-star of the format. This card is played in almost every deck exclusively. That's a control deck, that is. 1 Bottomless. Bottomless is a bit weird against Hat because the Traptrix monsters are immune to it, but hitting stuff like Firehand is quite good because it has to go to grave to trigger, and hitting stuff like the artifacts is good, even though they'll still trigger. You're able to banish it, so also can't be resurrected with something like Call the Haunted or Soul Charge. One Compulse is in here just because it's generically good against a lot of the extra deck. We have the 3 aforementioned Gear gear, a Needle Ceiling acting as our second copy of Torrential Tribute. This is quite strong in our deck because we have armor, so there could be an instance where we can actually only one-sided Raigeki Joseph with this card, so that's pretty good. Warning Torrential, 2 Vanity's Emptiness, and triple Wiretap, another all-star of the format. Because of all the grindy control games, Wiretap is essentially power crept 7 tools of the bandit. You can obviously debate which is better. Sending the card to the graveyard is sometimes good, but Wiretap is free, which is why people liked it so much. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Wiretap Wars, where Joseph might activate a Sanctum, I try to Wiretap it, he Wiretaps my Wiretap. That happened all the time during this time, but man, I love it. That does it for the monsters, though. Then for the extra deck, we have basically every good rank 4 and rank 3 that's in the game at the moment. Dweller's in here. Honestly, in retrospect, I might play 2 of this card just because the hands were so prolific, and being able to have a way to just neutralize them in a rank 4 is quite good, so that way you can burn 1 and possibly maybe bait something out. We have the Emerald for recycling resources, the Exiton to clear boards, triple Gigant because it's like the namesake of our deck. One of our rank 3s is Ghost Trick Alucard. We have Silent Honor Arc, we have Ragnazero, we have Giga Brilliant, a Black Ship of Corn, a Crazy Box, and then for more 3s, we have Soul of Silver Mountain, Temtempo the Percussion Djinn, and Wind Up Zen Mains, obviously to go with our MK2s and our Geargiano. The side double Crow. Crow's quite good because, again, a lot of graveyard revival, so this might come in. Dark Hole's just another board wipe. Dimensional Fissure, our deck can play under DeFi and Macro quite well, although it does mess with some interactions like Geargi Accelerator, for instance, or MK2, but if it hoses the other deck, then that's obviously more favorable for us. Mind Control is incredibly good, being able to stop the hands from triggering, so we might bring this in. One Twister as like another MST essentially to stop like the stuff that would, hinder us. Then we have double D-Prison, double Light Imprisoning Mirror, another Needle Ceiling, a Soul Drain crippling card during this time, and double Trap Trick Chapel Nightmare. We could actually side this in because, again, it may not necessarily be good against Trap Trick specifically, but against a card like Moral Tack, you can flip this because it has to trigger. I believe it's mandatory, and you can just pop the Moral Tack and then it's off the field, and the effect is negated. So I'm super excited to play this one out. I've never played Geargia against Hat because during this time, I was exclusively playing Hat, so I'm very curious to be on the opposite end of the table than I otherwise would be, and this episode's going to be great. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Joseph, we did it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is saved. We are officially in Hat format. You and I have been talking about this for I don't know how long. It feels like it's been 30 plus episodes, but I am ecstatic. This is one of my favorite formats ever. This is like right when I was getting back into the game, and I think this is a format that actually rocks.
I was pretty skeptical of it. I remember Hat format being super popular as soon as Necros format had happened in the TCG. A lot of people playing it as a retro experience, and then immediately falling off. No one ever played it after that, and I figured that was because it was actually boring. But in testing, I found this format kicks. It is so good.
You and I are both partial to control as well, and that's what this
helps.
format tends to lend itself to. I also like that I always played Hat. I never played Geargia, and so it's going to be interesting from my perspective playing against Hat, not like in a mirror, playing like what is one of like the better matchups for this deck, right? So it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, but obviously it's not unwinnable by a long shot. You definitely have some big cards that you can deploy at will, and I'm excited to see how it goes. Let's shout the patron. Jake1779 is bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Imagine paying someone on Patreon to just say that to your friend.
Yeah, I mean,
good friend.
It's better that it's a friend and not Jake themselves,
I mean, I guess that's true. Buddy, do you have the hand up?
Yes, I do.
I actually don't know what you're I'm gonna go with odd.
It is odd. The number of
Why?
Exciton Night you are legally allowed to run. Why?
Oh,
why?
I thought it was going to be the number of letters in Hat format, which is 3.
That's smart too.
Okay, we tried. I will be going first. No surprise there. I also can't believe we're this close to Duelist Alliance format. I mean, we're going to be in Hat format for a bit, but in all fairness, that's also oh man, these next few episodes
too long actually. As much as we talk about how diverse Hat is, we've actually showed off like 80% of the format already.
It's true. That's true. But there's still some fun stuff to come. Let's start with Upstart Goblin. Speaking of fun.
This is my favorite part of Yu-Gi-Oh! During this period. You just show each other how many Upstart Goblins you have before you really start playing.
Looking at this hand, I think I am going to set 1, 2, and I'm going to set 1 and pass it over.
Hey, what's that set card?
Could be literally anything, buddy.
Could it?
Literally anything.
I feel as if maybe it couldn't. This is a really strange one. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Same play, back to you.
End phase gear.
Yeah, of course.
It's a great way to kick things off on our end here. We're going to go ahead and grab 2 of our little Geargiano friends. We'll get 1 of the silver one and 1 of the gold. Draw for turn. Anything in the standby?
No.
All right, main phase 1. So you set a monster. The only monster that Hat really sets is either Fire Hand or Ice Hand. Everything else, there's no reason you'd really set it unless you're like bricking or you're trying to bluff me out of existence. So I think we should try to deal with this as best we can. So let's start by overlaying.
Yep, still with you.
And let's go for Gear Giggin X number 1.
There he is.
Any response to the summon?
No response.
Did not think we'd get this far. Can we try for the effect?
Also fine.
Okay, that's pretty promising. I'm going to grab myself a Geargia Arsenal. Let's go ahead and run out this MK2. I'm going to trigger the effect.
That's fine.
I'm going to special summon out Geargiano.
Sure.
Xyz's play number 2 here. Let's go for a Ghost Trick Alucard.
Okay, gotcha.
Any response here?
No.
All right, let's detach. We're going to go for one of your back row here. We're going to go for this one.
Do you know how punishing going for Alucard into blind back row can be? You just get rewarded. You just get rewarded. I can't believe
Must be nice, buddy. Must be nice.
I
right?
haven't
Okay.
activated any of these. What else would they
I know.
be if not artifact?
Yeah.
Oh, no, just Alucard.
No worries. No worries. Don't worry. Never punished, right? Never punished. I think it's going to get a lot worse for you. So it's not armor that was set. I completely bluffed you here.
Sure.
It's accelerator. I'm going to special another accelerator.
Yep.
And we're going to go for Dweller.
Yeah.
We'll detach to a Dweller.
Yep.
Battle, I believe Ice Hand has the higher defense at 16, so we can actually run over with Dweller here.
And it is Ice Hand.
Okay, 18 and 23. And then second main, I am just chilling. Go ahead, buddy.
All right. End phase will ignition, targeting the back row here.
Ignition. It was a wiretap, which is why I felt safe going into your back row blind.
Yeah. Oh, because Morale Tech is a trap. Now I forgot. Oh, okay. All right. All right, stand by me. Let's... Ooh, wow. That Dweller is really a problem for me. Normal summon Fire Hand.
Sure. No response.
Going to set a card. I'm going to proceed to combat. Let's go Fire Hand into Dweller here.
Okay. Declare Dweller.
Sure.
In response.
I'll take the 100.
Take 100?
All right. Back to you.
Okay. We'll draw. So I know you have Moral Tack, obviously. Let's just try to go for Gigant.
That's fine.
With Gigant, I'm going to go for Accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
I am curious to find out what this is, actually, so I'm going to go for the blind hit.
Sanctum.
I'll chain Maxi to this.
All right. Let's go Morale Tech.
Okay. And then Sanctum, you get to trigger, as well as Moral Tack. So
No, I'm going to be bad. Under Scythe.
you're going to go for Begul?
No, under Maxi, I don't think I can do this. I'm going to pretend that it's 2022. We'll just go Scythe.
Oh, this deck's actually playing the Scythe.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Very strange.
So-
I had to comb for this. We'll take the X off the Sanctum.
Makes sense. Then I'll trigger the Gear Gigant X.
Yes.
I am going to be nice, Joseph. I'm going to allow you to order the chain properly so that Gear Gigant misses timing, okay?
So we'll go.
Because I'm a pal.
We'll go Scythe CL1, Sanctum CL2.
Okay, you're welcome. Aren't I so nice?
I actually don't know
God.
if that is how it works. Yes, you don't even get to let me order anything. Scythe is mandatory.
Oh, is it mandatory? Oh, never mind then. Okay. Well, so then it works anyway. So
Yeah.
then you're fine. All right. So Scythe's actually pretty good here. I was actually not thinking you were playing a Scythe deck because they didn't start playing
yeah.
Scythe and Hat till later. So you're just a big cheater, but it's okay.
Whoa. I will let you know, this is a May list. This is a...
Okay, fair. I'm saying it wasn't more common until they played Scythe later.
Listen, I'll be completely honest with you. 80% of the hat lists during this period are hot garbage. I had to comb to find one with ratios that were even remotely defensible.
Fair. Okay. So in any case, Scythe is an asshole just because I am not allowed to go into my extra deck. So I'm in an Upstart Goblin.
Sure, I'll take another K off that.
Can't go into my extra deck. I think my next best move is to normal summon Arsenal.
Sure.
I'm going to sack off Arsenal. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves good old Mr. Armor.
Good play, gamer.
Going to set him. And then I'm going to set Chew back row. And Scythe got me. Go ahead.
Stand by me.
All good.
Normal fire hand.
Fire hand has to be sent to grave, so I will bottomless.
All right, well, I don't think either of these Xyz are doing much, so we'll go to combat. We'll try and hit this back row.
Sure. So armor flips. Yep. We'll go ahead and get the effect. We'll just grab another arsenal.
Yep. Second main, I will set 1.
Okay, standby. Main 1. You're at 58.
I will say one thing I really appreciate about this format. Obviously, Upstart's crazy, and obviously every deck should be playing 3. But just the fact that most people get to start at like 10k means these games are nowhere near as swingy as you'd expect them to be. Like, even Infernity has to win for 2 turns straight in order to clear a game.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just shy. Okay, no worries. We're running out the arsenal.
I'm going to bottomless here.
Bottomless on the arsenal. I think I will have to wiretap
Dang,
this.
I was like, I know that's wiretap, but there's nothing I can do about it.
The Power Crept 7 tools, for sure. We will special the accelerator.
Yep.
Let's overlay. So it's kind of annoying. 101 puts me dangerously close to killing you. I think I'm like 200 off if I go for it. So I actually don't know if it's correct to do so because I don't lethal you. Yeah, we're just shy no matter which way you slice it. Okay. We're just going to have to go for the Gigant. We will trigger... Yeah, I do want some follow-up here. I'm actually going to grab the accelerator out of my grave.
Yeah, I like it.
Then let's just go to battle. So we're going to hit over Scythe for 1 and then hit you direct for 35. And then second main, I'll set 1.
Come on, man. You're killing me. Stand by,
it's Geargia, baby. I got all the back row just like you.
Yep, that'll do it. Ooh, man.
Ooh, okay.
Oh. So much back and forth,
format.
and I drew an opener of 4 normals. So
Excellent.
we'll just hope to draw fewer this
Excellent.
time. And that's fewer. That is technically fewer. We are going to begin with a Traptrix Murmallow.
There you go. I didn't see any of those game 1.
Oh, no, I did.
Oh, we just didn't summon
Rotted
it.
in my hand. Let's go duality afterwards.
Sure.
Whoops. Let me remember that this card does not set to field. What am I thinking of that does that now? The Eldritch Traps. Ooh, wow.
Those are pretty
These
good.
Some pretty good ones. These
Yeah.
are decent. I think I want to take Maxi because I think the thing that beats me is Exciton, and I want to draw 2 cards off that. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. No fear, Shakespeare. Back to you.
I mean, there's no heavy, so you don't have much to worry about. Main good?
Yes, main's fine.
All right. I like your play so much that I will reciprocate in fashion. I will only set 3, though, and I will pass
This is
to you.
going to be a sick one. All right, you're not playing Artifacts, so I get to get really greedy here.
Okay.
Let's go Sanctum. Face-up card. Let's not go Sanctum.
I was about to say, it's face up, buddy.
All right, let's draw for turn. Stand by me.
Sure.
Ooh. So 1,000,000% that set card is, I mean, you tricked
Is it?
me
I
last
said
time.
accelerator last game.
I feel like you tricked me last time so you could get away with it this time. But it's not like I can really do anything about it, is it?
You could just attack and find out.
I mean, I could. That sounds really bad. I'm just going to set a card and pass.
Set 1, pass. Okay. Stand by anything?
All good.
Main. Okay, I wasn't bluffing. It's armor.
Okay, I have breakthrough skill this time.
Okay. Breakthrough skills, pretty good. Breakthrough skill resolves.
Cool. Didn't think that would happen. Sounds good to
Normal
me.
accelerator.
Oh. Now you're going to make me think. All right, we can get a really sick Gungulus move if we Sanctum here.
Now you have the Scythe. Also, Moral Tax, a card that's at 3 in this format, which is frightening.
Yes, it is.
I have
Yes, it
Wiretap
is.
here. See if you have
Okay.
yours.
I don't.
Okay.
My deck was not yet advanced enough to be on Wiretap.
It's advanced enough to be on Scythe, though, which is hysterical. Anything else here?
we're going to Maxi at this position.
That is fine. You can have your your 1 draw. I have no issue with that. We're going to go for Gigant. Are we going to go for Gigant? Let me think. You're getting your draw. Actually, instead, I'm actually going to go for Dweller.
All right. Well, I'll take my Sanctum anyway. We're going to bottomless this.
Double Wiretap would have been nice, but we did not account for everything. Okay, so Dweller's gone.
All right. You want to get that Gig and X back?
Oh, sorry. Yes. I have 3 of them, so I don't think I'm going to be going through 3. I am
Oh,
playing
well,
Gear
you don't
Gear.
have to rub it in.
It's very likely. That's it for me, buddy. Go ahead.
Let's ignition target this card.
That's fine, because it's an MST.
Oh, that's pretty good in this matchup, I've heard.
It's pretty good against, like, your Call of the Haunteds and shit.
Flip summon Firehand.
No response.
Whee!
This is 32. I'll take it all.
Second main. Back to you.
Keep walling up. Standby.
All good. Yep.
I will normal summon. I'm going to just set 1.
Standby main.
Yep.
All right, let's just play this little game.
I'll gain 1,000.
Well, I'll fucking try it again, dog.
32.
All right, second main.
Yep.
Back to you.
Try to resolve this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's get our little dudes.
Okay, thinking in standby.
Sure.
Cyclone. Target this card and the one behind my Firehand.
On the double cyclone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is going to get nasty. All right. So I imagine you have Begal Tack set. Or it could just be another Moral Tack. But I feel like you would just go for the Moral Tack I knew if it wasn't Begal Tack. Nothing I can do about this. So you got my Black Horn of Heaven.
Worse than all of it, baby. It's Scythe.
Oh, okay. Sure. I will change Scythe. Or Maxi to Scythe.
Sure.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, main 1. We are definitely in danger now. Let's try for this then. I will normal MK2.
No response here.
Declare.
No response.
I'll bring back the armor. And we'll activate the armor.
I'm going to Sanctum at this position. We're going to grab Moraltech. We'll give you another draw. And
Okay.
I'll crack the armor.
Sure.
Got to get this before it can set itself.
That is true. That is true. In that case, I will set 2, and oh boy, are we in danger. Go ahead.
Stand by me. I'll just go combat.
Sure.
Scythen.
That is 12.
Yep. Mirm. Firehand.
Okay.
Moraltech.
On attack deck, I will discard Gear Giada. You got it. I feel like maybe if I had sequenced when we were at like the standstill with the armor and we each had like 4 back row, maybe if I had made a different decision there, that could have changed things, but it's really hard to say because that was just, there were so many things going on at once that
Like if you
I don't think there's really a way to account for
wiretapped
it.
the breakthrough skill.
Yeah, but then the problem is I didn't have a clean out for Sanctum.
Right.
Is the issue.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna get locked with Scythe anyway. So it like didn't really matter. And then I was just gonna lose my armor and my accelerator to Murmello plus Moral Tack. So Moral Tack, or sorry, Scythe plus Murmello. But
Right.
we'll do our best. Best of luck, buddy. Main
too.
1. This looks pretty good to me. We'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead.
Stand by me.
Yep.
This is sick format, everybody. Really good.
Excellent. Excellent. I love this shit. I love this shit. All right, cool. I'll draw. Standby. Main.
All good.
Let's try this again.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is resolving? Okay. Excited about that, I guess. We'll get Accelerator. I'm gonna normal Arsenal.
Yeah, no response to this.
I will special Accelerator. Let's overlay.
Yep.
Let's go for Gigan.
Okay. Sanctum.
Sanctum here. I'll try wiretapping this, sure.
Simo, don't open wiretap challenge. Impossible. Oh my god.
Anything else here?
MST targeting the back row under Gigan X.
No response.
All right, it is Moraltech.
Sure.
Effect.
Thinking.
Sure.
I'll bottomless the Moraltech.
Sure. We'll
What are you
grab
popping
the
with it?
Gigan X here.
Sure. Makes sense. Could just reset the armor in all honesty. Yeah, we'll just try it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll just pass.
Stand by me. Back to you.
2 hands, huh? Okay. We'll draw. Standby. Main. Let's try for it. Let's grab ourselves Accelerator. Well, normal Arsenal.
Again with the arsenal. Yeah, that's fine.
Special Accelerator. We'll overlay. We'll try it again.
I'll try Sanctum again.
That is fine.
Same deal as last time.
Activate Moral Tack. Moral Tack resolves.
I'll grab Geigen.
No targets engraved, sadly, as much as I would like to. Mind Con this.
It is Ice Hand.
We'll flip it.
Yeah.
It's overlay. Let's go for 101.
Sure.
Take your Moral Tack.
Okay.
Go to battle. So the problem is if this is an ice hand, you'll get to go to fire. If it's fire hand, you actually don't get anything because you have to pop a monster. One ice hand is gone. So statistically, it's more likely to be fire hand.
But is that a risk you can take, Alex?
I believe the decks play... God, you're playing the Scythe deck too, so like your ratios could be all
Well,
over
I'll
the
just
place.
tell you right now, the ratios on this deck are whack as fuck.
So they either play 3-3, but then like later on they start playing 2 and 2 because they cut back on the fucking normals. Let's try it.
It's Ice Hand!
Oh, fuck. All right. That's fine. It's torrential. That's why I was thinking so long.
Not that it really matters.
I was thinking that like there's this opportunity I could have like cleaned up entirely on that Moral Tax summon and just made all your hands worthless. But
Okay, give me a...
I figure this is a slightly better position here.
Don't ask for this often, but can you give me a 4? Well, you know, we'll see.
Okay. And one more card. I'll gain 1,000.
Well, it is the worst 4 in the deck, but it's a 4, all right.
Okay, you got there.
This Fire
Thank
Hand
God
is
for
less
that.
than useless.
Is this where you make your 101 to take my 101?
I'm gonna try it. I'm trying to think if there's anything better. Yeah, Crazy Box plays around Valor, because if you Valor it, then I can attack. 101 doesn't gain attack, so nothing I could do with Rag. Yeah, let's just make 101.
Yeah, I think this is the correct play.
I'll try it here. So
have to take off
unfortunately,
the,
I don't
yes.
get both. That would be really sick.
You don't. That would be insane. That would be nuts. All right, so this is 21.
Do I know the card in your hand? I don't, right?
You don't.
All right,
No.
back to you.
Oh, that would have been nice. I have a play, I guess. I will run out Geargiano.
Okay.
I'll sack Geargiano for Accelerator. I'll set 1 and pass.
Because when I attack Geargi Accelerator, it will get you your guy?
Because it triggers in the graveyard.
Really? That's how that works. That's unfortunate. All right, well, yeah, whatever. Duality.
Sure. Those are all pretty good.
Wow. Oh, those are killers.
Those are all really good.
Oh, man. I really want to take dubs.
I had a hunch that last card is Scythe.
Could be anything. I mean, Mermello's really good. Oh, it's got to be Ignition. Yeah.
I was going to say, you are under duality. So there is that to consider, too.
Yeah. Ah, fuck it. Hand Artifact Trap Tricks. I'm gonna
You going for the Mermello?
Here, yeah.
That was the wrong choice. Thank you for that.
Oh, man. Well, I don't know. That's pretty much exactly the same. I guess I get to eat that with dubs, but you can solemn a potential artifact that might be in my back row anyway.
Could be anything.
Well, I can't risk walking into your guy because then you will be able to get armor. You can't flip it.
Yeah, this is kind of an annoying spot for you.
It's really annoying.
And then if you don't kill the Accelerator, if I draw any 4, I can just
that's-
immediately go into a rank 4.
That's a nightmare, yes. Not that that really changes based on if you draw a 4 or not. Yeah, we'll do it.
All right, trigger Accelerator. Like, armor would be the snap pick, but the problem is you can just attack over armor. I think I'd go for the armor.
Not happy about it.
I'll set 1, and I'll set 1.
Stop drawing
Where's your
back row.
acid trap hole,
Stop drawing back row.
buddy? You're good. So we'll trigger armor. I will grab... A lot of this also hinges on what I draw, which I don't like. So I don't think I can really afford to let it come down to that. I am going to grab MK2. And you're just setting 1 and passing?
Yup.
Normal MK2.
All right, what does this one do? Oh,
Specials a
Jesus
Geargia
Christ.
from grave.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring back the Geargiano. We'll overlay. For Tempo, I will declare Tempo. Targeting 101.
22? Oh, I see. And then you can walk over it. I think I got to protect my own here.
Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare, huh? I've got the wiretap.
Can you fucking stop it? Oh my god!
All right, hit for 100.
I don't think I have anything left in my deck that beats this. I'll take what? 100 here, yeah.
It's just 100, yeah. I'll put this here. This attack gain is permanent. It's not till end of turn, it looks like. I'll set another one. Go ahead.
Stand by me. Go ahead.
Yep, 22. Yeah. Got another one. Go ahead. Ooh, that's kind of neat. All right. So what am I afraid of here? I guess like torrential is a concern. Could just keep attacking. I've got you on what, a 3-turn clock? If I just keep hitting you with tempo, that is a lot of time. 2 draws steps. Fuck it, MK2.
Sure.
Bring back Geargiana. Oh god, that sucks. Okay, that means potentially more draw steps then. This 22. This actually is a 2-turn clock if I just attack with these idiots. So we'll do that. We'll go to battle. All right, we'll hit with these two, 22 and 1,000. Second main, I would really like to make a rank 3, but I don't want to give you an extra card, so I will just pass.
Stand by me.
Yep.
Duality.
You're good. I think Upstart's the pick, buddy.
I honestly, it is. None of these others do anything.
Compulse is okay.
These are the absolute worst I've ever seen. Upstart.
Gain another 1,000.
Back to you.
2 back row. Draw. Standby. Main. So if I just attack, you're technically dead. Okay, what other traps? You could have a Sanctum. You could have Call the Haunted. You could have like Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare, which actually doesn't do anything on this board. Bottomless also doesn't do anything on this board. I imagine you still have that in there. Battle. 1,000.
MST.
Target.
Wow.
MST resolves. Are you activating Scythe? I will skill Soul Drain.
You have to Soul Drain in response to the MST.
Okay, I'll Soul Drain in response to the MST. Whatever.
Oh
okay.
my
okay.
god.
I had vanities too, so I'm like, okay, I'm safe from Sanctum and Call the Haunted.
Christ alive. Well, you know what they say.
God.
This is a really interesting game. 3 of which were decided by fucking wiretap. My deck isn't even playing this card.
Your deck isn't on wire. That is baffling to me. Wiretap is like the craziest card this format. I was expecting us to have wiretap wars.
Nope.
So the fact that you didn't even have it, that's just sad. What were these?
Nothing. Double BTS.
Oh, okay.
It was weird.
Sure.
That game I drew all of my monsters at the beginning and then no monsters. Another one of those double ice hand opens. But woof. Ooh, these were good games.
They were. That could have gone either way, in all honesty, too. As soon as you 101 by 101, I was like, oh shit, this is very bad. And
Yeah.
I think we got to see why Geargia has a slightly better, more advantageous mashup versus Hat, because Geargia armor is just fucking thick.
Oh, it's
like
nuts.
he's
It's
thick
crazy.
with 2 C's, my friend. Like 1900, when the biggest thing in your deck that's normal summonable is 1600. It's like, and you can't pop it when it's face down with Moral Attack. Like, yeah, if you get Moral Attack out or Scythe out, then you can run over it, but I still get to replace it anyway. So this is one of the reasons why, for YCS Philadelphia specifically around this time, that people were anticipating a lot of hack going into the tournament. So people preemptively picked Geargia as like a counter pick to that. And I believe in like the top cut, Geargia actually had the highest representation. I think Hat just falling second behind by like 1 or 2 top cut slots.
Yeah, until people kind of coalesced on hand, artifact, trap tricks as the 3 portions that they wanted, there was a big discussion as to what you wanted to play with this like really powerful trap lineup. And I do think there's a pretty good argument for the Geargias. I mean, Geargia and X is just a house of a card. One of the things that improved hand artifact trap tricks and that we'll be looking at on future episodes is rethinking these ratios. This version specifically is on so many normal summons. It's on a trap lineup that doesn't even include wiretap, which is, as those decisions get changed, this deck becomes a lot more streamlined. And I look forward to getting to show that off.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout out the patrons for all of their continued support. So shoutouts to Shadow1317, Moto, Tim00x3, Cameron Smith, MBT Play Madolce, Chaotic Meatball Par 2, Pony Stark, Synchro Guy, Dan the Man Hoban, I Ship MBT and Cimo, Draconic Rockslide, Phoenix the Immortal, Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, David Liu, Dylan Hunter, Cody Bretts, John 2-Based, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Zerius Business, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, MBT caught injecting his Fairy Lily, Hornet TC Gaming, Valen Jackson, thanks for the sleeves, Dad, Orange, you glad I didn't say Alpha Tribute Ben 10, Matthew Brady, Max, Twinkle Muncher, Eater of Crayons, Lubon, Yodabon, Helios 515, the Anti-Big Brain Ben K OTK play, MBT funding the Irish with his Rothschild wealth, that's his Roth IRA, Simping for Simo, Stolfin Amethyst, Nicholas Carpenter, Simo's Harem of Sexy Yugi Tubers, LGM BTQ, Nim Noodle, Malabranch of the Burning Tunnels, Stella and Zoa Vermilion, Wonder Waffle, James Keen, Skull Servant and the Wandering Doomed are boyfriends. MBT cancel by all, community soon, cancel by all, committee soon, cancel by all, players soon. Dalton, not reading cards makes the game interesting and you know it. The Undertaker versus Cimoooooooo and MBT. Wait, play the concert video one more time. Cayman CJ, Hunter Reed, Shrugs IX, the Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, Dark Echo, Corvain, Jake 1779 is bad at Yu-Gi-Oh!, Josh Haynes, TJ Starman, and Cmoos Engage. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.